Me? Yes, I am live. I am live on Facebook. I'm live on Instagram. I'm live on YouTube. How's everyone doing? Guys, when you join me, please let me know you're with me. Wave, say hello, and let's get started. I have a really great topic for you guys. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Ifeoma Odunlami. I'm an immigration attorney from the Odunlami law firm based in New Jersey, but we serve clients in all 50 states. So today I have a really great topic, and I want to share some tips with you all regarding proving that your abuser is a U.S. citizen or a green card holder. So when you join in, please on the comments, tell me your name, tell me where you're joining in from. And if you have any questions, put it down on the column, and I will address it when I am done with my little presentation. So guys, I'm so excited because we got a couple of VAWA cases approved in 8 months. A couple were in 9, 2 were in 8 months. So I was really excited because one of those cases was a case where the client didn't think that she had a case because she didn't have proof that her abuser was a US citizen, right? And we told her, you know what, don't worry about it. We'll give us the information and we'll do some investigation, and we'll see what we can get for you. And this same client also was really worried because she had been told by some attorneys that if you didn't have physical abuse, you can't get you won't be able to prove your case in a VAWA case and all that. As she had no physical abuse, it was all emotional and psychological abuse, and yet we're able to get her her VAWA approval in record time, and that is so thrilling for us here at my firm. So the reason why I want to talk about this topic, proving that your abuser is a U.S. citizen or green card holder, is because that acts as a stumbling block for a lot of people who want to file VAWA but are afraid that they won't be able to succeed because they don't have any proof that their abuser is a U.S. citizen or green card holder. So for those of you that don't know this, VAWA is Violence Against Women's Act. It applies to men, it applies to women, it applies to children. So what you're looking to prove is that the abuser, whether it's your parent or it's your child or it's your spouse, is a U.S. citizen or a green card holder. Well, in the case of a parent filing for VAWA based on an abusive child, that child has to be a U.S. citizen. That's the only difference. Okay. So what are the tips? What are the ways that you can find that you can give this evidence if you don't have it? Because remember that in abuse cases, a lot of these clients don't have this information, right? And a lot of the abusers are not trying to help them by giving them this information. As a matter of fact, a lot of times the part of the abuse is hiding this information from the intended immigrant so that they can't get their papers. So today we're going to talk about the ways that you can get this evidence if you don't have the information. So let me say hello to people who joined me. Hi, Calvin, nice to see you. Hi, Sylvester, nice of you to join. So and on Instagram I have Finest Shandy. Hi, Finest Shandy. How are you? And you're from Maryland. I used to live in Maryland a long time ago, maybe like what, 25, 30 years ago. So guys, the first thing you need to prove in a VAWA case where you are trying to establish the status of the abuser is that you need to show that they're either a U.S. citizen or a green card holder. So let's talk about, maybe start with the U.S. citizens, right? Proving that your spouse is a U.S. citizen or the parent is a U.S. citizen or your child is a U.S. citizen. I think it's easier for, of course, parents or children, but in the case of spouses, that might be a little difficult, yeah, right? So one thing that you would need to show is a birth certificate, right? If you have a copy of their birth certificate, that would be helpful in showing that they were born in the United States and are United States citizens. Now, If you don't have that information, you can actually contact in some states, Department of Vital Records, right? Some states will allow you, as a person who has direct and tangible interest, they will allow you to make an application to get that birth certificate. So you can just Google and find out whether your state allows you to do that, right? I know Wisconsin is one state that will allow you to do that if you can show that you have a direct relationship to the person, such as a spouse, such as a parent, right? So another thing that you can show to prove that your abuser is a U.S. citizen is their passport, if they have an American passport. All you need is the biodata page, which is the picture, the first page that has their picture. That page will also have, the date of birth, for people who naturalize, it actually also tells you where they were born, right? If they were not born in the United States, but for those that were born in the United States, it will say right there where they were born. Okay, so if you have a copy of a biodata page, that would be helpful. Okay. Now, another thing that you can look for is a certificate of naturalization. If you can find a certificate of naturalization, which means that the person naturalized and is now a U.S. citizen, a certificate of naturalization will have the person's picture, it has the A number, and it shows the date that they took the oath and became a U.S. citizen. Those proofs, those are really hardcore proofs that are not, uncontroverted proof that this person is a U.S. citizen. So we'll talk about the ones that are not as solid, they're not strong proofs, but they could help. Now, if you have a marriage certificate, if the person is your spouse, sometimes there's some marriage certificates that will put where the person was born. So if your spouse was born in the United States, it will put it there, and that's proof. USCIS has been known to accept that as proof that your spouse is a U.S. citizen. In case of people who like parents who are looking for proof, maybe their children haven't given them that information. Well, the long birth certificate of a child, right, typically will show where the child's parents were born, right? So if you're, I mixed that up. If you're a child who is looking to prove that your parents are U.S. citizens, if you have a long birth certificate, because there are two types, there's a short birth certificate and there's a long form, right? The long form birth certificate will show where the parent was born, and typically will actually even show what kind of work they do, right? So that's proof of those who were born in the United States. That's something that you could use to show that your abuser is a U.S. citizen. Another thing that we've done is gone to the voters registration record. Guys, this is not even difficult. You just have to Google and see if the person is registered to vote, right? Only U.S. citizens can vote. But when you do this search, make sure that the website that you're looking at is one that ends with .gov, so that you're not in another site with .com where you have to pay for this information, and which may even be a scam. So you want to be careful about that. But honestly, Google is something you can actually even start with that. Google the person's name, and you'd be surprised at all the information that comes out on people. People have footprints, okay? Due to we're in the world of the internet. It's very rare to find somebody who has no footprints, all right? And then if you absolutely don't have any of this stuff, then maybe affidavits. Now, affidavits are not really strong evidence because anybody can lie. But if you are able to get affidavits from people with firsthand knowledge, such as a parent saying, I know that this child was born here because, I was there at the birth. I'm not talking of a parent that is the abused victim, but maybe if you can get the parent of the abuser to certify in an affidavit that their child was born in the United States, or you have somebody who witnessed the birth, or somebody who went for the naturalization ceremony with a person, those are ways that you can get affidavits from people who have hand knowledge. So it's not going to be helpful if you say, well, if you get an affidavit from a friend who thinks that the person is a US citizen because they've always known that the person lived here. As we all know, there are people who came in here to the United States when they were very little, and some of them don't even know that they're not citizens until they get much older. Maybe they're looking to get a driver's license, or they're looking to register to vote or whatever, and then their parents at that point tell them that they're not citizens. So this affidavits require people with first-hand knowledge. So let's talk about if the abuser is an LPR, or green card holder, right? So now, if that LPR has filed for you in the past, right, and you have an approved I-130, this also works with a U.S. citizen. If either of them have filed for you in the past, and you have an approved I-130, right, which means that USCIS at some point this must have been submitted by the abuser, and USCIS has this information, and they approved the relationship in terms of that it is that you guys were married and the person was a U.S. citizen, then you can use an approved I-130 as proof that your abuser is a U.S. citizen. Another thing you can also do is you can request a FOIA, which is a Freedom of Information Act, right? Under Freedom of Information Act, you can request the records that you have based on a prior petition, right? And in those records, likely you would be able to find some of the things you're looking for, such as a birth certificate, naturalization certificate. We actually have done this for a few clients, and we're able to get the records that we needed to prove that the abuser was a U.S. citizen or a green card holder. If you have certain documents, such as you have the A number of the abuser, you can give that information to USCIS, and tell them, this is the A number. I know this person is a green card holder or is a US citizen, and tell them to do the investigations themselves. And sometimes you may not even have the A number, but you have other information such as their social, you have their full name, you have their date of birth. If you know that this person is a US citizen or green card holder, you can provide as much information as you can to USCIS and tell them to verify the information themselves. But you have to tell them to do this, okay? You must tell them to verify this information, all right? So what else? If you have joint filings, such as maybe you've filed for mortgage, you filed for some kind of insurance benefits, you may be able to get those documents, which might have information regarding where your spouse or parent or child or whatever was born. So there are many ways to get this information, but the important thing is that don't ever give up, right? Because I've had so many clients who came in here who thought that they didn't have a case, absolutely no case. And we took on the case and we worked the case and we got what we wanted. We got the approved VAWA. So that's my topic for today. So let me see if I can answer some questions. I have Sheikh bin Talib on Instagram asking, hi, I want to ask if you have an I-360 pending and the abuser kept abusing me, so I need to add it as more evidence for the I-360. So basically, Sheikh, you want to know if you can supplement your records. I think that's what you're trying to ask, right? Yes, you can. You can supplement information as it happens. So clearly you filed the I-360, but more stuff is going on. You can go ahead and send that information to the Vermont Service Center, but make sure you do this. Make sure you attach a copy of the receipt of the I-360. Make sure that your A number is on the information you're sending so that they know which file to put that to, right? We've had clients that we file petitions for, and then something really terrible happens, from the abuser. We actually had one who tried to assault her with a gun, right? We've had one that assaulted our client's new boyfriend, right? So and then we had to, of course, get all those records, pictures, whatever, and supplement that information. VAWA takes an average of 2 to 2.5 years. So chances are there are more things that may happen, and there's nothing that stops you from supplementing your records with the Vermont Service Center. Just make sure that you put enough information so that they can put your records, put the new information in the right place. Okay, does that answer your question? Hi, Zoom, how are you? All right, so guys, I think that was all I have for today. I'm going to really try to do more Facebook Lives, because Instagram and YouTube, because our passion here is to empower immigrants by giving you guys information that will help you get legal status. So if you have any questions, feel free to send me a DM telling me what the question is. Maybe that might be the next topic for my next live. Until then, guys, take care.